Bine v-am găsit la UVT TV. Alături de mine l-am pe domnul Philip Clarke, care este mentor la The Hive în cadrul Nottingham Trent University. Hello and welcome to our TV studio.
Hello, nice to see you.
Tell us a little more about your background regarding business and your role in the NTU.
Okay, unfortunately my background goes a long way back. I graduated as a linguist and worked for many years in international logistics, so I had a lot of international experience, and my languages gave me a love of travel, of meeting new people. I did a short spell with an accountancy firm as a business consultant and gained some more knowledge before setting up my own business in the early 1900s. And over the next 15 years I started and ran a number of businesses. I thought I was an entrepreneur. I made some money, I lost some money. And in 2005 I decided to join the university and become part of the Hive, which is the University Centre for Enterprise and Entrepreneurship. And we, a small team that is, of practitioners, we are not academics, we are practitioners, support undergraduates and graduates in developing their own business ideas and helping them start businesses.
You are here as a guest of the SAS project. How was your visit in Timișoara?
It's been really nice. I think unfortunately our plane didn't arrive until late on Monday, which meant we weren't able to see the whole of the exhibition on Monday, which is a great shame. I understand there were lots of businesses there, and I'm sure it was incredibly interesting. We only managed to be there for 1 hour, and in that hour we met 3 businesses, and those conversations were very interesting, and I'd love to be there for the whole day. We've done some corporate visits. We visited Nokia and Hella, and both of those have been interesting. Introduced us to a much broader range of knowledge about what the companies do and what the opportunities are for students within those companies, both, shall we say, intrapreneurially, as well as entrepreneurially, because both of them encourage young people to work for them and dedicate a small amount of time to developing their own businesses, their own ideas. And I think as a part of modern culture, that's really, really important and interesting for young people to know.
Why and how can we encourage young people, like students and newly graduated people, go into this kind of projects, start their own businesses?
I think the first thing is to let them know there's plenty of help and support. Launching a business or even thinking about running a business is scary. There's a lot of fear. We are naturally, as human beings, risk averse, and therefore we take the easy option. Sometimes it's easier to run away than it is to stand and fight. And if we let students know that there are sources of help and support for them throughout the journey, so they're not alone, and that there are resources available which they can tap into at the right time, such as money, sources of funding, mentoring is incredibly important, and networking is very important for them. And if we allow people to develop their own networks and to access these resources, then it becomes much less scary. I think the problem we have in universities generally is the majority of people think being entrepreneurial is not for them. But in reality, we are all capable of being entrepreneurial, and we just have to let ourselves believe that we can do it. I think just believe is a motto I've seen around somewhere. Perhaps not here in Timișoara, but certainly I've seen it in a number of places now. Just believe, you can do it.
And how important is for young people to we had this project where 5 students from Timișoara went to Nottingham, and the students from the NTU came here. How important are these student exchanges programs for them?
Well, I think in general they're very important because they encourage this cross-cultural understanding. It's important that we know what's happening in other areas of the world. I have to say, from a personal point of view, this is my first time in Romania, and perhaps my conceptions or preconceptions of Romania are outdated. They're from the past. Again, I'm older than you are, and perhaps that's not surprising, but it's important that I have updated my perceptions, that now I see Romania in a different light. And I think for young people to realise this, and that we are in a global marketplace, that we trade globally, we use the internet as a principal means of trading, of doing business and commerce, and the internet knows no boundaries, knows no frontiers between countries, and I think that's important.
How do you see further the collaboration between the NTU and the West University of Timișoara?
I have some positive thoughts about how we can develop interaction. I think it's important that we don't just allow it to stagnate. We must use the link positively. It's a link between members of the staff, myself and other members of your team, as well as colleagues back at NTU, to identify opportunities, identify areas where we can co-work, where we can encourage more cooperation and exchange more students so they experience life at other universities and bring those experiences back and share them amongst their colleagues too.
Getting back to what we were talking before, what do you think that are the qualities of an entrepreneur?
There are many. If I would stand here and list out the entrepreneurial qualities of energy, enthusiasm, creativity, innovation, etc., we could go on for minutes. It's about mindset. It's about believing you can, knowing where to find help and support, because none of us have a monopoly on knowing the solutions, and it's having that passion for doing what you really want to do. It comes from the heart. If you haven't got passion, then you won't commit 100%, and without that commitment, you won't get success.
How can one become his best?
How can one become
his or her best?
Ooh.
Because we have like this motto in the university, become your best.
Yeah.
How can someone become their best?
How do you define your best? It's an individual thing. I suppose what you mean is, how can you define success? For some people, success is getting up in the morning. For others, getting up early in the morning. But it's making a goal for yourself, setting objectives and working towards them on a consistent and regular basis. Only then will you know that you're being successful, and if you achieve your goals, you know you are doing your best.
Thank you for your words and for accepting our invitation.
It's my pleasure, and all I'd like to say is a very happy Christmas to everyone at UVT here in Timișoara.
Mulțumim că ați fost alături de noi. Rămâneți cu UVT TV.